Adam Weldyke will now speak on behalf of the students in the middle and high school education program.
I'm going to turn this a little because the people I'm directing them at are going to be behind me soon. But my name is Adam Weldyke. I am a member of the MAT Middle and High School graduating class, and although there are only about 15 of us here, we are a strong and proud group and really an amazing group of people. It's been a pleasure being with. This past year I've been fortunate enough to be a student teacher in 6th grade in Arlington, Massachusetts. So I'm used to speaking in front of 12-year-olds. But first things first, because of that teaching spirit and because we need to prove that we learned something this year, I'm going to start by showing you the agenda for this conversation. There we go. Now, we're going to play around a little bit with our do now. My co-op, who is a lot politer than I am, calls it a now please. So, if you are a family member or a friend of a graduate, please raise your hand. If you are a co-op of a graduate or a teacher at all, please raise your hand. If you are a member of the faculty at Tufts, please raise your hand. And more importantly, if you are a member of the graduating class, please raise your hand. Now, I'd like to reverse things a little bit and start with a thank you. Thank you so often comes at the end of remarks, and in my opinion, it really is the most important thing. So it should come at the beginning. Each and every person in this room is responsible in some way for the development and for the well-being of all the degree candidates here. I wouldn't be where I am, like many of my colleagues, if it was not for my family, who's here today, my mom and dad, without my amazing co-op, Donna Dolan, who has helped me make this year the best year of my life, being able to teach. And all people in the Tufts Department of Education who care. And if there's one thing that we know, it's that they really and truly care. And they work very hard to make sure, harder than we ask them to make sure that we have a successful year and have a good experience along the way. So for our MAT Middle and High Schoolers, especially like to thank Ryan and Diane and Martha and Linda and Steve, who both might not be here with us today. We all have that person, that intangible. If I could digress, I'd like to personally just say a thank you to Steve Cohen, who couldn't be here with us today. Without Steve, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be the teacher, the jokester, or the person that I am. So to Steve, thank you so very much for being everything you never signed up to be for the past 6 years. And surprise, there's probably going to be 6 more. We should really all remember to take that time to thank the people who helped us get where we are, because a little gesture really does go a long way. Now, speaking of which, let's take a minute to talk about the little things. I read a fantastic book about a month ago called The Book of Awesome. Now, simply put, it's a book that highlights the author's choice of 1,000 little things that we should appreciate more in life. Things like the smell of bakery air, hitting 3 green lights in a row, waking up and finding out it's a snow day, popping bubble wrap, the little things. Now, no matter where we go and no matter what we do, we're going to be faced with hardships and we're going to be faced with challenges. We worked hard to get where we are today. We worked very hard to get where we are today. The hard work of planning, the frustration with details, the lesson plans, the videotaping. However, think back and remember some of the little things that really and truly got you through your days. The very first time you met your class. The very first time you got a gift from a student. The moment you realize that you can in fact keep them after school and they will not hate you the next day. The first time in Ed 101, we had to talk about our feelings. The second time in Ed 101, we had to talk about our feelings. The lesson that you planned that fit the period perfectly. The conversation in the teacher's room that got you through the day. The realization that you appreciate conversations with adults so much more now. The 100th time in Ed 101 that we had to talk about our feelings. And each and every time we heard something new and positive about Linda Beardsley. we all miss very much. I think that what matters most for us is to realize that no matter what, there are always going to be things that will make us happy. We're going to go out into the world and we're going to do our very best to change the lives of kids in every little way we can. It's important to remember that we need to make sure we take the time to take care of ourselves too. So no matter what challenges we face, and no matter how many problems we have to solve, there's always going to be something to smile about. So, oh, now I stuck it in here. Here we go. Your homework. Please take that time and appreciate those moments. And whatever you do, this is directed at you guys. Never forget to smile. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Adam. His speech and mine were not planned.
No, great minds.
Yeah. Now we will recognize the recipients of the Master of Arts in Teaching Middle and High School program. Adam Weldi, MAT, Middle and High School. Laura Schultz, MAT, Middle and High School. Jennifer Salazar, MAT, Middle and High School. Julia Merriman, MAT, Middle and High School. Wallace Scott McFarlane, MAT, Middle and High School. Lucia Mandelbaum, MAT, Middle and High School. Morales Lewis, MAT, Middle and High School. Yvette Jaime, MAT, Middle and High School. Kara Hovanesian, MAT, Middle and High School. Laura Hoge, MAT, Middle and High School. Raisa Herrera, MAT, Middle and High School. Brandon Paul Gibson, MAT, Middle and High School. Catherine Dunn, MAT, Middle and High School. Courtney Chapman, MAT, Middle and High School. Dara Bayer, MAT, Middle and High School. The faculty meals. Join me in congratulating all of our graduates from the Department of Education. will be concluding shortly, but before we do, I want to give thanks to all of the commencement staff here at Tufts University, as well as our own department staff who made this event possible. Pearl Emmons, Philip Gay, Ryan Redmond, Carla Walsh, and Patricia Romeo. I ask that all family members stay seated. The faculty is going to process out first, and the students are going to follow them, and we're going to go to the parking lot on that side. You can follow us after that. Thank you very much for coming, and congratulations to you.